they'd earned some good karma. I followed the signs to Centreville, dragging my suitcase. One of the wheels had developed a death rattle, and I hoped that Camille's complicated instructions would translate into a short journey. I had canceled my cell phone at the same time as the electricity and water. I found myself in the central square, bounded on one side by a majestic abbey and on the other by its ruined ramparts. A bunch of young men and one woman burst out of a bar. They were wearing long gray coats decorated with hand-painted designs. The woman's got my attention. The artist had done a fine job of rendering the colors and swirls of Japanese anime. I managed "excusez-moi" before my French deserted me. "Art students?" "Engineering," she said in English. I showed them my directions to Camille's. She had written in French, "Go directly out of the square," but hadn't said which way. "We do not know Cluny well," said the student. "It is better to ask at the shop." So I found myself outside the antique store, which I had at first mistaken for a butcher because of the black metal goose that stretched out from the door. I've always felt a connection with geese. They cooperate, look out for one another, and mate for life. The goose is also the symbol of a quest, like finding my flaky college friend. The pull of the jeweled scallop shell in the window was strong, even a little unsettling. Recent life events had left me wondering if I was attuned to the universe at all, so when I got a clear signal, it seemed wise to pay attention. I bumped my suitcase up the steps into the store. A trim man of about 50, with a narrow mustache, smiled tightly.
"Bonjour, madame."
"Bonjour, monsieur. This." I pointed. "S'il vous plaît?"
"Madame is American?"
"Yes." Was it that obvious? He handed me the charm, and as I held it, I had the feeling again. The one I had relied on to make major decisions throughout my life. This is meant to be.
"Madame is walking the Chemin?"
I'm sorry?
"The Camino de Santiago. The way."
I was vaguely aware of the Camino, the pilgrim's path in Spain, from skimming Shirley MacLaine's memoir. I could not see the connection with a scallop shell charm in central France. The antique dealer must have taken my nod of understanding as confirmation that I was planning to follow, literally, in Miss MacLaine's footsteps.
"This Saint-Jacques will take Madame to Santiago in safety."
I wasn't planning a... Why a scallop shell?
The scallop, the Saint-Jacques, is a symbol of the pilgrimage. Saint James, Santiago.
Okay.
Scallops floated the boat that was bringing Saint-Jacques to Spain.
Not in any Bible I'd read. I turned the shell over in my hand, eyes closed, as I let myself disappear for a moment into thoughts and feelings I'd been too busy to deal with, until the antique dealer coughed. "How much?" I asked.
215 euros.
Dollars and euros. About the same. I'd never spent more than $100 on a piece of jewelry.
"It is from the late 19th century,"
he said.
"Gilded silver and enamel. Possibly it belonged to royalty of the Austro-Hungarian Empire."
I'm sure it's worth it. Well, not that sure. But I can't afford it. It would be like Jack spending all his money on the beans.
"The work is not expensive. Much is given free to the pilgrim."
"No, merci," I said, putting down the shell. Madame was not planning to walk any further than Camille's. The antique dealer looked disappointed, but gave me directions in a mixture of English and French. I pulled my